Greetings, kindred. Wishing you all happy new moon. So the new moon will begin on January 1st, 2026 at 19:52 in the GMT time zone, at 14:52 in the EDT time zone, and the new moon will begin on January 19th at 6:52 in the AEDT time zone. So as the new moon begins, it will be at 32 degrees in Sagittarius. So as you can see here, this is stellium. It's actually an astrological aspect, grand aspect. The moon is right in the center. So we have Venus, Pluto, and Vesta all conjunct in Capricorn on one side of the moon. And we have the Sun, Mercury, and Mars all in conjunction on the other side of the moon. Now, the new moon is always conjunct the Sun at a new moon. So this is a lot of pressure on the moon right now. So on this side with Vesta, Pluto, and Venus all in Capricorn, I mean, this is very, very impactful, especially when it comes to like magnetic energy, but it's all about unearthing hidden truths. It's about profound change, especially when it comes to our core values. It's like a radicalization, really, which can really create like a lot of obsessiveness. It can bring up a lot of control issues and even on a personal level, like confronting aspects of our own insecurities. And on the other side of the moon, we have the Sun, Mercury, and Mars all in conjunction. This is very active. I mean, the Sun is all about our identity, Mercury about the way we think and communicate, and Mars is all about action and our desires, as well as Venus is about what gives us pleasure in life, what makes us happy, but also she does represent the economy as well. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure, a lot of restriction. And in Sagittarius, I mean, the one thing Sagittarius cannot handle is being restricted. So on one hand, we have this activating force here, which also, I mean, Mercury, if Mercury's within 4 degrees of the sun, it's normally kind of an overwhelming mind overload. So there's a lot going on in our heads, and this is being activated by Mars. So I feel there's a lot of change coming in. A lot of change or a lot of radicalization, and it's kind of like bringing up a lot of issues around our way of thinking, our way of perceiving. We also have the moon and sun, though, in sextile to Saturn and Neptune, who will be making a third and final exact conjunction in February. I think it's late February, actually. Now, this is like the spiritual meeting up with the material. So, in one respect, this is good for grounding our dreams and our visions, but on the other, it can cause a little bit of depression. Neptune is a spiritual planet when it comes to consciousness and, wishful thinking. We can build castles in the sky with this energy, especially since Neptune is transiting his own sign of Pisces right now, which really gives him strength. And Saturn doesn't really do so well in Pisces. But we have this T square here with Uranus, who's retrograding in Taurus at the moment. in opposition to the Black Moon Lilith, who's actually flitted back to Libra. So right now, the Black Moon Lilith is flitting between Libra, Scorpio, and Ophiuchus. So at this new moon at 21 degrees in Libra, in opposition to Uranus retrograde in Taurus, which is a very frustrating placement for Uranus in retrograde, and very frustrating for Taurus, who likes to take things slow, is more methodical about things. And at 3 degrees, I just feel like maybe there's some higher consciousness coming in, or, but it's kind of coming in a forceful way. Maybe realizations, because this T square is aimed towards Pallas, who's at 0 degrees in Aquarius. So Pallas has just entered into Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So I feel there's kind of like this big wake up call for many people because of all this pressure they're under spiritually and emotionally. 32 adds up to 5, which is a shifting, adapting number. And with all this change coming in, especially when it comes to what lights our fire, our inner passion, our belief systems, our missions in life, and Venus representing our happiness, or, with happiness, we have to be financially secure as well. Venus is the ruler of Taurus. So I just feel there's a lot going on here. And I just feel it's going to be a little bit of an overwhelming energy, this new moon, but it will affect us all in different ways because we've all got our own personal charts that these transits will be affecting. Now, I have done the horoscopes and I will link them below wherever you're watching this. If you're watching on Instagram, there's a link on my page that takes you to my website and you'll find them there. So we also have an opposition with Mars, Mercury, and the Sun against Jupiter, who's retrograding in Gemini, and Jupiter doesn't well retrograding through Gemini either, because it's all about, not knowing our own minds or following the status quo. It's all about traditions and, what we've been brought up to believe in. But in opposition to the moon, it can represent like over optimism, or it can exaggerate feelings, which is also quite overwhelming. And in opposition to Mercury, that can be like extremist thinking, but it creates a lot of restlessness and self doubt. Because, this opposition is in square to Chiron, I think it's triggering some wounding, definitely around mental health or emotional health. And mental health and emotional health do go hand in hand, really. So I just feel there's a lot of overwhelming energy this new moon that we need to watch out for, because if it's not affecting us personally, it's definitely affecting people around us. So I feel we might see some people kind of coming into like a breakdown situations, whether it's breaking down of finances or breaking down of physical or mental or emotional health. I just feel there's going to be a lot of issues around that. It could be physical as well, because Taurus does represent the body, and Uranus here is involved in this T square towards Pallas. The Black Moon in Libra brings up a lot of high expectations. So I would definitely say relationships can be under a lot of pressure and stress right now. As individuals, we can be under a lot of stress and pressure right now. So we just need to watch out for that. Now, I would definitely recommend salt baths. I would definitely recommend going for a walk in the fresh air if you're feeling quite stressed, because I feel these are very stressing aspects, this new moon. And if you can't do salt baths, like some people write to me and say, "Oh, I can't do a salt bath because I've only got a shower," then do a foot spa. Just soak your feet in salt. So I think we also need to watch out for feeling inadequate, because I feel there's a lot coming in that we feel that's beyond our control. Now, that this opposition with the Black Moon and Uranus, I mean, that's a dramatic change. And it really is an aspect that keeps us off balance, but sometimes we can create our own upheaval. And it's also about struggling to find our place in this world. So it's a lack of inner peace. We know Pallas is the natural strategist. She is the pattern recognizer, but at 0 degrees, she's kind of under it herself because she's adapting here. At 0 degrees, she's adapting into this new energy. So she would have just left Capricorn and now she's gone into Aquarius. So in Capricorn, she may have felt a little bit more in control, but going into Aquarius, it's more like free spirited, it's more like find your own way. So I just feel like that I mean, Aquarius does rule technology as well. So it could be stuff coming in. Like I know here in the UK, they was going to bring in like the digital IDs. I just feel like it's something along those lines that's going on here. Could even be like an identity crisis or a need to feel that we need to prove ourselves. Do you know what I mean? But we need to watch out as well for self-pity. It's a lot of conflicting energy here, a lot of energy that's creating upheaval. So the best thing we can do through this time is grounding techniques. Like I said, salt baths, going for walks in nature, bare feet on the ground, or hands on walls, outside walls or on trees even. Anyway, kindred, I'm going to leave it there. And as always, I send in you peace and much love. Take care.